Hello and welcome. My name is Dylan Simmons, GIS Student Assistant here at Fresno State, and today we'll be covering the basics of ArcGIS Online. By the end of this video, you should know how to sign into ArcGIS, access online trainings, and create, delete, edit, and share layers, maps, and apps. Now, let's get started. Please feel free to stop this video and explore or take your time as we continue. The first thing we need to do is sign into our Fresno State email. To do this, please log into your Fresno State email account in your browser. Here in Chrome, I'm signed into my Fresno State email. This is required for both faculty and for students. In a new browser tab, we're going to the following web address. You may pause the video here and copy the link on screen or get it from the description down below. Here, we're taken to the sign-in page for the Fresno State GIS Hub landing. Here, we have two sign-in options, the ArcGIS login and the Fresno State organizational login in blue. Here, we are going to click on the Fresno State login. This will redirect us to the campus login services. Here, log in and complete your Duo verification. Once you've done both, you will be taken to the landing page. Now that we are on the landing page, let's explore what online training you have access to with your Fresno State account. By clicking your name up in the top right-hand corner, you'll get a drop-down menu. In this drop-down menu, we are going to click on Training. This will bring us to the Esri Academy homepage. Here, we have some recommended courses. However, we are going to go to the top ribbon in Catalog and select Course Catalog. Here, you can search courses by name or topic, or browse by topic in the bar below. Here, you can choose the product type that you want, either for ArcGIS Pro or Online, and select the format. Down in our results, we are going to click on this web course. Here, we can launch the course and review the estimated number of minutes required. Here, we get a brief description about the course, the goals, and the software required to complete it. In My Academy, under My Learning Activity, we can see all of the previous courses that we have completed. Here, with this web course, we can see the name of the web course, the amount of time estimated to complete, the date of completion, and a certificate to view, along with the ability to start over to review information. In our browser, we are going to navigate back to our GIS Hub landing tab. Here, we are going to click on the 3x3 dot grid next to our name. Here, we see all of the applications available through ArcGIS. Some notable ones include Survey 123, Story Maps, Instant Apps, and the Living Atlas. Here, we are going to navigate to the top ribbon and click on Content. This will take us to our My Content page. Here, we can see all of the files that we have in our My Content. With ArcGIS Online, all of your files are stored externally on a cloud. Here, we can see my instant apps, shapefiles, forms, web maps, and web scenes all saved in ArcGIS Online. All of these files can get confusing, and so organization is needed. Here, we can see the folders that I have. To make a new folder, next to the word Folders, we are going to click on the folder with a plus. Here, we are going to title this new folder, My First App, and click Save. In our Folders tab, we can now click on this folder and see that it is empty because we just created it. Up in our top ribbon, we are going to now click on Map. Map, also known as Map Viewer in ArcGIS Online, is your workplace to create, edit, and share web maps, web scenes, and feature layers. For today's video, we are going to be creating a web map displaying the congressmen in Fresno County and the areas they represent. We will then be using this web map to create an application which we will publish. Here in our untitled map, we are going to click on Add in the Layers panel. Here, we start by default in My Content, where content from your My Content page is present with the Add button available to add it to your web map. Here, we're going to click on My Content and navigate down to the Living Atlas. All of these different options are sources for data for you to add to your web map. Here in the search bar, we're going to search for United States County. Here, we will be adding the top two search results, both made by Esri. Simply clicking the Add button will add the feature layer to our web map. On the right-hand side, you can see that the Properties panel opens as the layer is drawn. Clicking the button in the same location, now titled Remove, will remove the feature layer from your map. Here at the top of the layer panel, we are going to click the back button. Here we see the two layers that we have added and the eye icon, which allow us to be able to toggle the view of either layer, either by showing or hiding it. To the right of this, we have a three-dot icon. Clicking on this will give us options for the layer, including renaming, saving as, duplicating, and removing. Here, for the generalized boundary layer, we are going to be removing it. Back in our Layers panel, we are now going to click the Add button. Selecting My Content, we are going to change this to the Living Atlas, and in the search bar, we are going to type Congressional. In our search results, we have two very similar layers. We are going to click on the Add button for the option that says in parentheses all territories. This video is being recorded in 2025, so the number of the Congress may be different along with the name of the congressman going forward. This is fine, just apply the principles to whatever the names are of the year that you are in. This information should all still be the same. With our layer added, at the top of the layer panel, we are going to click the back button. Now, in the map, we are going to zoom in on Fresno. In the layer panel, hovering over the 2x3 dot grid matrix on the left side of the layer, your cursor should change, and by holding down left click, we can drag and rearrange the layers. The layer that is at the top of the list is the one that is drawn first. A common problem is missing layers. Oftentimes, people forget to toggle the visibility on their layers back, or it is obscured by another. Here, the county boundary layer has some transparency. The congressional district layer does not. We can see through the county boundary layer if it is on top, but we cannot see through the congressional boundary layer if it is on top. Toggling the visibility of the congressional district layer and selecting the county boundary layer, on the right side of the screen, third icon from the top, we are going to click on Filter. In Filter, we are going to select Add New. With the county name selected as the attribute, the condition being is, we are now going to click on the drop-down for the name, and in the search bar, we are going to search for the word Fresno. Selecting Fresno County, we are going to click Save. Unhiding the congressional district layer and moving our county boundary layer to the top of the list, we can see that Fresno County is drawn on top. Here, selecting congressional districts and briefly switching to Properties and then back to Filters to refresh, we are going to click Add New. Here, selecting District ID, we are going to change this to State Name. With the condition set to is and California as the state, we are going to click Save. If California is not your state pre-selected, click the drop-down menu and select California. On the right side of the screen, in the column, third icon from the bottom, we are going to click on Analysis. We are going to click on Tools, and then scroll down to Manage Data. Under Manage Data, we are going to click on Overlay Layers. Here, for the Input feature, we are going to select the Congressional Districts layer. For our Overlay feature, we are going to select the County Boundary. Think of this like a cookie cutter, with the cookie dough being the Input feature as the Congressional District, and the cookie cutter being the Overlay feature as the County Boundary layer. For this to work, the overlay type must be Intersect. Verifying that our overlay type is Intersect, we are then going to give this output feature a name. Here, we are going to type Fresno Congress District as one word, capitalizing the letter of each of the words. At the end, put an underscore and your initials to make it unique. After estimating the credits, we are going to click Run. To view its progress, in the pop-up, we are going to click View Status. Once it is complete, you will see that we have a new feature layer in our layer panel. Toggling its visibility, you will see that it is the exact same shape as our county boundary. Clicking on Properties, the first icon from the top in the right side icon column, we are going to click on Edit Layer Style. Here, in Choose Attribute, we are going to click on Field. Here, there are many different attributes to select from. However, we are going to choose Name. You could use last name, however, we are going to use Name. Click Add. Once you are done, you will notice that the map updates now with the legend and colors. Here we are going to disable the other layers. Here in our map, we see that we have 4 primary colors, yet we have more names and colors in the legend. This is due to slivers of other polygons containing other congressional districts intersecting with our overlay feature for the county. To remove this unnecessary data, we are going to need to filter. With Fresno Congress District selected in our Layers panel, we are now going to filter. Here, we are going to click on Filter, the third icon from the top in the right icon column, and we are going to click Add New. Here, selecting District ID, we are going to select and change this to Name. Here, Adam Gray is selected, and we are going to click Add New. Here, again changing District ID to Name, we are instead this time going to select Jim Costa. However, we have a problem. Here, our map has gone gray. This is because we have an AND operator, because we have all of the following are true. We need to select this to any of the following are true, making this an OR. Here, clicking Add New, again changing District ID to Name, we are going to select Vince Vaughn. Clicking Add New once more, changing District ID to Name, we are going to select Tom McClintock. Once we are done, we are going to click Save. Now we will edit our base map layer. In the left-hand icon column, we are going to go down to the 4th icon from the top and click on Base Map. Here, we are going to select Terrain with Labels. Scrolling through, there are many different options for you to choose from. Once we are done, we are going to select Layers again, making sure that the panel is open. With Fresno Congress District selected, in our right-hand icon column, we are going to go down and select Pop-ups. Here, with Field List selected, we are going to remove a few of the field selections. Here, the only ones we want remaining are Name, Last Name, Party, State, and CDFIPS. Once we are done removing the fields, we are going to click on Title above the Fields list. This will be the title of our pop-up. Currently, it is the name of the layer and the name of the congressman in the district. Here, the CDFIPS field is actually the congressional district number. Here, we are going to remove Fresno and change this to congressional districts. Removing name and the semicolon, we are going to add a hashtag for the number, and clicking the brackets to the right, we are going to select the CDFIPS. As you can see, all of the other tags that we removed earlier are still also here. However, we're getting the CDFIPS. With it selected, you will see that now the pop-up says congressional districts, and then the number. Here I'm going to remove the S, and clicking around, you will see that it updates based on the information on the polygon. With this complete, the field is now redundant. So in the select fields, we are going to remove it because we no longer need to see it, though the information is still there, just not shown. You can also adjust this for the other layers, however, because we are not using them, it does not currently matter. Closing the pop-ups, we are now done creating this web map. Now that we are done with our work, it is time to save. In the left-hand icon column, we are going to go down to Save and Open. This should have a blue mark to it, indicating that we have not yet saved our work. Clicking Save As, we are going to give this item a title. Here, I'm going to title it Fresno County Congressional Districts. At the end, put an underscore and your initials to make it unique. For tags, I'm going to add the tags Fresno and Congress. After typing Fresno, I'm hitting the comma on my keyboard to separate them into separate tags. I will now give this item a summary. Summaries are important to explain data to other people that you may share this with, and also as a note to yourself before opening an item. Once you are done, click Save. From here, in the top left corner, we are going to click on the pancake and select Content. Back in our My Content page, we see our web map at the top of our item list. Here, we're going to check the checkbox in front of the item. And at the top, we're going to click on Move. Here, we're going to select our folder, My First App, and click Save. Going into our folder and clicking on it, you'll see that our item is located within inside. Here, we are going to click and open our item. And if we wanted to view it up at the top right, we could click on Map Viewer. However, we are going to click on Show More. Here, we are going to click on Create App and select Instant Apps. Here in the Instant App application, we are going to scroll and find Interactive Legend. There are many different options that are pre-made for multiple types of applications. Once we click Choose, we will be redirected. Here, we are going to tell it to save in our first app folder and allow it to keep the same name and tags. Click Create App. Here in the Express Map setup, I'm going to close some of the pop-ups and click on Step 1. Here, we already have a map because we open the Express Map from our web map in our content page. Navigating between the steps, we can click on the back button or click Next. In Step 2, we are going to choose our app title. Here, I'm going to leave this unchanged. We are going to have settings also for our header and our user interface. Clicking Next to Step 3, we can affect the legend style. Here, I like the side panel rather than floating and will be enabling some of the options. Clicking the eye icon next to the toggle will give you more information. In Step 3, we also have the options for visualization of map features, and we'll be changing this in just a moment to demonstrate that you can go back and make edits. However, for the moment, I'm going to select a strong drop shadow. Clicking to Step 4, we have some more user interface options. Here, I'm going to enable export and sharing. In case you have additional sources, this is also the place to add them as a citation. Clicking the toggle for all sources, click Add a Source to add another source that will be present at the bottom of your map. Going to Step 5, here we're going to be able to select the theme in contrast mode. Here, our two options are light and dark. I'm going to choose the dark mode. We can also adjust where our user interface widgets appear on the map screen. All of these choices are up to you, and I'm simply giving you an idea of what is possible. To move the widgets, simply hover over, and with the 4-arrow cursor, hold left-click and grab the 2x3 dot grid matrix like we did with the layers when creating our web map. Then, drag them to the quadrant that you want them to be displayed in. Once we are done, we are going to click the next option to Step 6. Here we have a language toggle, which can enable a second language. Clicking the back button and mousing over to our preview for our map, we are going to interact with the polygons. Here, I do not like the difference in contrast between the selected and deselected polygons. It does not feel like it's enough. To change this, I'm going to go back to Step 3, and in my visualization mode, I'm going to change it to Drop Shadow plus Gray. I am happy with what we have created, so at the bottom left of our creation panel, I'm going to click Publish. Here I'm given a pop-up confirmation and I'm going to click Confirm. I am then shown the sharing level of the application, which should be the same as your web map. And I am also given the ability to copy a direct link to the application. If your share setting allows it, anyone clicking on the link will be taken to a web page rather than the GIS Hub. The application is standalone and does not require anyone to sign into ArcGIS Online. Clicking Launch will open our web app in a new browser tab. Here, we are going to explore our new web app. Selecting Jim Costa in his district, in the search bar, I'm going to search for Fresno State. The first result I see is for the Fresno State Aquatic Center, and I'm going to click on that. Here, we can see that the majority of Fresno State is not in his district. However, something we do notice is how bad this base map is for being able to tell streets and locations. We are going to change this. Clicking back up in our browser tab to our overview, we are going to go back to content. On our My Content page, we are going to navigate to and click on our web map. Here, we are going to open in Map Viewer in the top right-hand corner. With our web map open, we are going to navigate to in the left-hand column and click on Base Maps. Here, we are going to select Imagery Hybrid. With Imagery Hybrid selected and applied to our map, we are going to save. With our web map saved, in the top left-hand corner, we are going to click on the pancake and click on Content. In our Content page, we are going to click on our Instant App. Here, we have two options. We can click on Configure, which will open up our Instant App configuration page, allowing us to make changes to our web app and save them and update to publish, or we can click on View. Here, we are going to click on View. As we can now see, our base map layer has been updated. With this verified, we are going to go back to our Content page. Back on our My Content page for our Instant App, we are going to click on the sharing icon, which looks like a person, on the right. Here, we can change our sharing level from owner, which is private, to organization and public. To make a selection, simply click and either click Revert at the top to undo, or click Save at the bottom to make the change. You can also cancel by clicking Cancel or the X button to get out and make no changes. To edit a folder, first in your My Content page, hover over the folder in question. Here you will see 3 dots appear. Click this, and here you have 2 options for either deleting or editing the folder. Clicking Edit Folder will allow you to change the name. You can either confirm or delete the changes. Clicking on Delete Folder will give you the option in which your folder will be permanently deleted, however, your items will be removed to a recycle bin. And now you know how to delete a folder. On our My Content page, we are now going to delete an item and restore it. Here, we are going to click on the checkbox in front of our instant application. At the top, we have the options to share, delete, and move. Clicking on Delete, we get a pop-up warning telling us that our item is going to be moved to our recycle bin and permanently deleted after 14 days. We are going to click on Delete. At the bottom of our Folders tab, we are going to click on the recycle bin where we will find our instant application. Clicking the checkbox in front of the item again, here we can click Restore or permanently delete at the top, or in line with our item, we can click on Restore here. With our item, we are going to click Restore and we are going to get a pop-up. Here, we are going to set the folder in which we want the item to be restored to. Here, I am selecting my first app folder, and we are going to click on Restore. At the bottom of our screen, we get a pop-up notification allowing us to go to the folder in which our item has been restored. Here, we can see that our item has been restored to our My Apps folder. Congratulations! You now know how to sign into ArcGIS Online with your Fresno State email, review and attend online training, navigate the Fresno State GIS Hub and Content page, create, edit, delete, and share layers, web maps, folders, and instant applications. Should you need any further help, please browse the other videos we have here explaining other GIS topics, or make an appointment with us here in the Geospatial Information Services at the library online. Thank you for watching and learning more about how to use ArcGIS Online.